So you might have heard of the title of this recipe as a style of cooking crab in Hong Kong, but today I'm going to show you how to do Typhoon Shelter with salmon. And the reason I want to show you this is because the way I'm going to make this salmon is quite possibly the best and easiest way of making salmon you could ever have. So the name Typhoon Shelter refers to a process of cooking sometimes crab, sometimes prawn, today salmon, with a lot of garlic, some black beans, chili. I'm using coriander. You could also use Chinese celery or even celery leaves and spring onion. It's a really, really simple dish, but at the heart of it, a mountain of garlic. The first thing we've got to do, and this is the most labor-intensive part, is to chop all of this garlic. You might think this is one just for the garlic lovers, but it's not really. Even though there is a lot of garlic here, we're going to fry the garlic till it's brown and crisp, and that really mellows the flavor. So it's more of a toasty flavor actually, more than a garlicky flavor. You might also be thinking, why can't you cut this using a food processor or blitz it up in a blender? And to be honest, you can't really do that, because what you'll get is either too fine a cut or an uneven cut. And what we're going to do with this garlic is cook it in oil so it's nice and brown and crisp. And if the cut of the garlic is too fine, or if it's too different in size, you get some parts that are going black or dark brown long before the other parts have become crispy, and it won't work quite as well. So cutting it by hand is the best way to make sure that all of this garlic ends up even. Now that is a lot of garlic. What I want to do is fry that now in a cup or two of oil quite slowly so it becomes nice and evenly browned. It might take about 10 or 15 minutes. When the garlic's golden brown, just scoop out the garlic and reserve the garlic oil. While the garlic's cooking, we can get onto this salmon. Now you might see Typhoon Shelter as a style of cooking deep fried crab in Hong Kong. And you could serve this with deep fried salmon or deep fried prawns or even pan fried salmon. But I want to show you the way that is my favorite way of cooking salmon, particularly for a crowd, because you can scale this from everything from one fillet through to a whole side of salmon or even an entire fish. All you need is a piece of baking paper and your salmon fillets. You want to lay those skin side down onto your baking paper. Now, for a whole side of salmon, obviously this is going to take longer to cook. For a whole fish that's got two sides to it, obviously even longer again. But this here in an oven at about 200 degrees is only going to take about 10 minutes. All you need to do to it is just give it a little drizzle of oil, a touch of salt, some pepper if you like, but I don't need it for this dish. And then that just goes in the oven just as it is, about 10 minutes. The toasted garlic and garlic oil is done. The salmon's in the oven, so now all we've got to do is prepare the topping that's going to go on top of it all. I just need a few thin spring onions, and I'll cut those into about 5 centimetre lengths, including this green part as well. I'll slice some chilies too. And don't skimp on the chilies either. These are quite hot, these little bird's eyes, but if you don't like the heat, just choose a chili that has less of it. Here with my onions and chili and my black beans, time to fry it. So I'll start with a touch of the garlic oil in with the chili and spring onions. The black beans as well. Now when the salmon comes out of the oven, all you've got to do is put the dish together. You could take the salmon off the parchment and put that onto the plate, but I actually think it's nice just to serve it with the parchment as it is. Start to put on our Typhoon Shelter ingredients, these black beans, chilies, garlic oil, and spring onions. Cover the whole thing with plenty of this fried garlic and just a few sprigs of coriander to finish it all off. And that is our Typhoon Shelter salmon.